I knew a couple of people who were in the previous cohort in previous years, and they spoke highly of the program. So when Dan gave me a call, I was at the time I wasn't actually ready because I thought there's more time to recover from an illness, but then there's no real good time to start something.
Mm.
And once I felt that I decided to become a non-executive director, I think it's really just getting on and start as soon as the opportunity arose. I just came out of my executive career, and but I had been on boards as a executive director for a very long time, since 2003. So
Mm.
I knew what a board is meant to be doing, and I decided that was really a career path after my executive career. So it wasn't really a hard choice. Um, the transition itself was helped by the program, of course. I mean, I talked to a few people and pretty good feedback, but it's never the same as experiencing it myself. There is a fair bit of discipline. We had to, really do some groundwork on ourselves. And I really thank the program for that, because without someone really urging you to do that, and with a group of people supporting in the background as well as the cohort to help each other out on that. You know that's probably one of the success factors, is that you have people in the cohort who are on the same journey and share your ideas as well. So that's different from simply just working it out all yourself. And I think the value is in the support, and the value is in the structure, and also just the networking.
Yeah.
That's it's actually pretty well organized. I mean, I met a lot of really good NEDs during that time. Probably not the sectors. I was always pretty clear what I wanted to do, but maybe not actually, maybe definitely the approach. And the program is good in that it shares the past experience of how people succeeded, but there was no one path that everyone supposed to do. So then if you follow this way, then you're going to get to the end. But everyone has a different path, and once you hear all that, you will find the one that feels more natural and authentic in your own ways. And so I think that the sharing of the ideas um, is definitely the helpful one. Like how I structure myself in terms of looking for the right boards, and also talking to a lot of people also clarifies for me how what kind of boards I want and who would I like to work with. And so that's more the benefit from having a structured approach um, to a change. One of them is about receiving feedback, asking feedback for feedback whenever you can. And I think just listening to people's feedback on, how I've been going, and how do I, how did I describe myself, more or less, sometimes actually helps, because having worked in financial services, there are, a lot of jargons that we take for granted. Um, and so just really changing the way to be a lot more simplified in a way, but in other ways is, it is an adjustment to work out how you describe yourself as well. So feedback, I think it's really one thing that I find is feedback is gold. Um, The second one is asking for help. I think that actually doesn't change from an executive career. But in an exec career, you know, there are a lot of people around you that you see in the workplace. And you already have, you know, common grounds when you ask for help or you give help. There is a common understanding and starting in the same place. In this space, that's quite different because one has to be able to describe quite clearly what help you need. The third one, when we talk about networking, I think I received quite a lot of advice, who you network with, and you know, what do you want to look for, and so who you should be networking with. For me, it is all about authenticity. I mean, one has to be connected with people you can work with and you find it's genuine. So the need to network has to be genuine. And I find that whenever there's a genuine interaction, the outcome is sustainable. My advice is it's never a perfect time to join, because once, like, if you're already thinking about it, then there will always be something else that you want to do as well. If you're an exec, you always can say, oh, I can do it next year. And you know, at the time when I joined, I wasn't well, but then I thought, why not? I mean, well or not well, you got to do something. And so I think the first thing that I would say is that there is never a perfect time to do this. The things that you learn, I would say, is different for everyone because you come from a different background or a different experience or readiness for being a non-executive director. But you will learn something from the program, and learning is something that will sustain over time as well. And there's never wrong time to network as well. So I think that's what I say. I would also say to them that it's not really, it's not a lecture. So you don't get given a book to follow or anything. So there's actually going to require some effort. So prepare to put in the effort. But the effort is really on yourself. I would say I enjoyed the journey along the way, and that I would also say that you never know when your first board role will come out of the process. And so, you know, patience is probably another one that I would say to anyone who joined the program. I mean, it will be there. It's just a matter of, you know, it's a matter of opportunities. The connections were there way back, and it's really just as the program would teach the benefit of networking. Once you start talking to people and sharing, and actually there's a genuine wanting to help others as well along the way, not just asking for help as well. So, you know, once, you know, the network know that I was actually changing my career, there's a lot of help in there. So is the WOBSX actually deliver a role? I would say the program enabled me to get to the role probably a lot more focused than otherwise. I would say that. But having said that, one of the cohort members introduced me to the Australian Youth Orchestra. So when that role came about, that was really, was perfect for give back, because I went through the same training in my younger days, and time to give back is, you know, the skills that I have that would benefit the organization, and just being reconnected to you know, youth orchestra and developing and training young musicians is, it's just amazing. Music helps learning. So that's like a lifelong learning method as such. I mean, I would encourage any kids to learn an instrument, because it is not about the instrument, it's about the way that they teach you how to analyze things, and it teaches you how to concentrate, but it also teaches you how to work with others. Like, orchestra is like a humongous team, right? At the same time. And it also teaches to listen to others. Like, you can't play without listening to others. So a lot of that skills are absolutely essential in the workplace. So it does help. And people said, if you're really musical, you most likely are very mathematical. But they're just looking at me because I was a CFO. But maybe there are connections. I don't know. AYO started this year the alumni orchestra, which is, there are 75 years worth of young musicians going through AYO so far. So some of them are pretty mature. So we're starting on the alumni program in January in Adelaide, and I'm going to play.